Deborah's story, a tale of leadership, faith, and God's power. Deborah's story is an incredible tale of leadership, faith, and God's power at work through his chosen people. Her account is found in the book of Judges, chapters 4 verses 5, during a time when Israel faced great oppression. In these chapters, Deborah emerges as a judge, a prophetess, and a military leader, roles that demonstrate how God can use anyone willing to serve him. In ancient Israel, the people were often trapped in a cycle. They turned away from God, suffered oppression, cried out for help, and God sent a deliverer. At this time, the Israelites had once again turned to sin after the death of Ehud, a previous judge. In response, God allowed King Jabin of Canaan, who ruled from Hazor, to oppress them for 20 long years. Jabin's commander, Sisera, was a fearsome leader. His army boasted 900 iron chariots, an intimidating force that terrorized the Israelites. Despair filled the hearts of the people, but in their brokenness, they cried out to the Lord for deliverance. And God, in his mercy, answered. Deborah's leadership. During this dark time, God raised up Deborah, a woman of great wisdom and faith. She was the only female judge in Israel's history, a prophetess who heard directly from God, and a leader who inspired her people. Deborah held court under the palm tree, between Ramah and Bethel, where the people came to her for guidance. Her faith in God made her a source of hope and a light in the darkness. One day, God gave Deborah a clear and powerful message. She summoned Barak, a military leader, and said, "The Lord commands you, take 10,000 men from the tribes of Naphtali and Zebulun. Go to Mount Tabor, and I will lead Sisera, his chariots, and his troops to the Kishon River. I will deliver them into your hands." But Barak hesitated. He replied, "I will go. But only if you go with me." His response revealed a lack of complete trust in God's promise. Deborah agreed to go with him but warned, "Because of your hesitation, the honor will not be yours. The Lord will deliver Sisera into the hands of a woman." The battle. Together, Deborah and Barak rallied 10,000 men and prepared for battle. Sisera, confident in his army's strength, marched his forces, including the 900 iron chariots, to the Kishon River. On the day of battle, Deborah called out to Barak, "Go. This is the day the Lord has given Sisera into your hands. Has not the Lord gone ahead of you?" With this assurance, Barak and his army charged into battle. Then, God intervened. A sudden and unexpected rainstorm turned the battlefield into thick mud, rendering Sisera's iron chariots useless. Confusion spread among the Canaanites as Barak's army overwhelmed them. Sisera, seeing defeat was inevitable, abandoned his chariot and fled on foot. The role of Jael. Exhausted and desperate, Sisera sought refuge in the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite. Jael welcomed him with kindness, offering him milk and a place to rest. But as Sisera slept, Jael took a tent peg and a hammer and drove the peg through his temple, killing him. When Barak arrived in pursuit of Sisera, Jael showed him the body, fulfilling Deborah's prophecy. The Lord will deliver Sisera into the hands of a woman. Victory and praise. On that day, God subdued King Jabin of Canaan before Israel. The victory was complete, and the Israelites experienced peace for the next 40 years. In response, Deborah and Barak sang a song of praise, recorded in Judges chapter 5. This song celebrates God's power, the courage of his people, and the ultimate triumph of good over evil. One line from their song stands out. When the leaders lead in Israel, when the people willingly offer themselves, bless the Lord. Lessons from Deborah's story. Deborah's story is full of timeless lessons that resonate with us today. 1. Faith in God's promise. Deborah trusted God's word completely and acted with courage. Her faith inspires us to trust in God's promises, even in the face of overwhelming challenges. 2. God uses the willing. Deborah and Jael remind us that God doesn't require perfection, just availability.